What is going on, people? Welcome back to the Player Rating Show, where we discuss individual performances from the game. And this time, it's the 1-0 victory. First game of the season over Sheffield United away from home. Lots of positive individual performances. As always, we want to know your player rating, so let us know in the comment section down below what you made of the performances, or whether you agree or disagree with us. And like and subscribe if you're new to the channel and enjoy the content. Patrick, how does it feel? Player ratings after a win. It's been a while, but first game of the season, a win, and there's some massive positive performances today from some of the players. Would you agree?
They were. So let's get to it.
Yeah, let's get to it with Sam Johnstone, our number one, the new number one. 7 from you, 7.5 from me. I'll be honest. I could have easily gave below 7.5 because I don't think he had much to do. But the thing that impressed me the most, and the reason why I wanted to give it first game of the season, kept the clean sheet, but his distribution, he looked very comfortable on the ball, and that's why I wanted to give a 7.5 for you. Johnstone didn't have much to do, but he's our new number one, and clean sheet as a number one, I'll take that.
I mean, you can't give more. He only had one save to make, but I agree. Distribution was very good today. He made one save, so I mean, he had nothing to do. But definitely, distribution was much, much better than our previous goalkeepers. So let's move on.
Yeah, Joe Ward, both of us agreed with a 7. I thought he done well, sort of defensively. Wasn't involved as much going forward from the eye test. I don't know about the stats, but yeah, he didn't put anything wrong today, and he made a few very good tackles.
I actually want to dispute that. Didn't do much going forward. It did appear that way. That Mitchell got higher. We get to Mitchell in a minute, but he had an 86% passing accuracy, which is very good for a defender. And he had 11 final third touches, more than any of our other defenders. So you say he didn't get 4, but he actually did a lot more than I realized. So yeah, there's that. So
yeah,
overall, let's talk about it. Very good. Yes.
Yeah, the defenders. I think that's the central defenders. I think that's the key talking point for the clean sheet today. Joachim Andersen, 8.5 from me, 8 from you. Look, he was not only just solid defensively, but going forward on the ball is fantastic as well. And I think that's the difference maker for me. We'll talk about Gahey, but that's why I rated him a bit higher than Gahey in this game. But people talk about Gahey versus Anderson. Who would you rather lose? I understand why people would rather lose Anderson than Gahey, but at times we also sleep on how good Anderson is, because today he showed his worth. I know it's against Sheffield United, but he looked fantastic on and off the ball.
Yeah, Anderson had the most passes in the entire game for any player, 75 completed passes. He had an 89% passing accuracy. He had 7 out of 10 long passes. He pinged one ball to Mitchell. I remember a long ball. He had a great long shot, almost scored a goal from outside the box. He had an outstanding game. He played really well today.
Yeah, you gave Gahey the same rating as Anderson, but I gave Gahey a 0.5 low rating. So we both agree on the 8. The reason why I gave a 0.5 lower is not because I thought Gahey done anything wrong in particular, but I don't know about you. I just thought maybe it's because how much Anderson was on the ball. I thought that Anderson was more involved in the game than Gahey, especially defensively versus on the ball as well. Maybe that's just the eye test, but that's what it felt like. Whereas, Gahey, I thought he was very good defensively. You can't discredit him, but I just thought Anderson had that slight bit of a better game. Maybe I was looking too much into it. What do you think?
I think you're right about Anderson. Like I said before, Anderson had more touches, but Gahey was very solid defensively. Shut down their strikers, who were both they're young and very quick. And I thought Gahey had a good game. I mean, I honestly, there's not much to really tell between the two of them. I thought Gahey was very solid today, though. He had like 6 clearances. 10. I mean, Gahey was very good today. So
yeah,
either one very good today. Solid.
Let's talk about Tariq, because look, he's been the one that everyone's been talking about. We need another left back. He's not good enough. Has he lost form? There's all types of conversation around him. You gave him a 6.5. I gave him a 7 today. But in terms of stats, he was very involved today. 98 touches, 5 out of 6 ground duels won. He didn't have any crosses that were accurate. He wasn't involved like that. But aerial duel, 1 out of 2 won. Look, today I wouldn't say he had an excellent game, but he also didn't have a bad game. He was involved, and he didn't look out of place today, Patrick.
You're right. He did have that cross that Edouard scored that was called offside. So he actually had a really good cross.
Yeah, it didn't count because it was offside.
It didn't count. Much more involved going forward than Ward was, and I kind of noticed that because Ayew did a great job on the right side. On the left side, we kind of tucked Schlupp in. We also switched Schlupp and Eze for about maybe 10 minutes in the second half. So Mitchell had a lot of space on the left side to get forward, which I thought he did a good job of doing. And he had 10 recoveries. He did lose the ball a couple of times with one player in the second half, and he lost the ball and then had to make a recovery to make a tackle. But I thought he was solid. Listen, it wasn't his best performance ever, but he definitely was more solid than a lot of times last season. So I thought, again, Mitchell had a solid game, even though maybe the what we gave him doesn't reflect it, but he was solid, especially going forward today.
Do you know who I love a lot already after one game,
Jefferson
after his
Lerma.
debut? Okay. Jefferson Lerma. Let's talk about him. Of course, you know that. 8.5 from both of us. Look, Patrick, I said it before when he joined, was looking forward to him and Decore playing in midfield together. And today just showed why. I know it's only the first game. I know there'll probably be hiccups along the way and they'll naturally improve as they play more games together. But I just love this game. Did you see that flick in the second half with his head?
I did.
He had a header and he beat the player like that, ran on. Also picking up the ball in defense as well. He was just everywhere. He was everywhere today, getting involved in attack defensively as well. In terms of stats, 12 out of 13 aerial duels won. Very, very good in the air. Very good on the ground with his tackles as well. Solid passing game as well. Near enough 80% passing accuracy. What much more do you want from Lerma? I thought he's fantastic, and I thought him and Decore's game complemented each other fantastically today.
I agree. One stat that you may have seen here, he won the most duels in the match. He won 17 duels.
Yeah, very good.
And without a doubt, having him and Decore in the middle is going to make us a much better team. They're mobile. They can tackle. They can both pass. Lerma's excellent in the air. Very good going forward. He had at least 2 shots on goal today. I think Decore had 1 shot on goal. And the only issue I had was the tactical wise. I would have actually had Decore drop a little deeper, but it worked today. And there's no doubt that our spine, when I say our spine, Gahey, Johnstone, Anderson, and then Decore Lerma is very, very strong. And that's going to help us a lot this season. Bet you get teams like Sheffield United who honestly aren't that good. But don't take anything away from Lerma. He played really well today.
Yeah, and his partner alongside of him, Decore, I just gave a 0.5 lower than Lerma. You gave it 8.5, same rating, because I just thought Lerma, as you said, the Jules one was just absolutely fantastic, and that's what stood out to me the most. In terms of Decore, he wasn't as active as Lerma was in terms of duels won. He won 1 out of 2 aerial duels, which was good, and 2 out of 5 ground duels. And for that reason, that's why I gave Lerma a high rating. But there's nothing really wrong that Decore done. In terms of passing accuracy, I think there's like a 0.4 difference between Lerma and Decore. But it's just Lerma was involved more. But Decore, solid defensively, just on his duties. And I'm happy for him because last season he was carrying, and this season it seemed like he's got that support, which is going to elevate his game even further.
Yeah, I agree. Very solid. Again, no yellow card today. Credit to him, credit to Roy. And he created 3 chances today. So maybe him being higher than Lerma works because he created a lot of chances from that central midfield area. So good for him. Very good game today for Roy.
Now let's move on to the attackers because everyone knows we need depth, we need quality. Today we scored a goal, of course, 1-1-0. But let's start off with Ebbs. I thought in the first half, everything was going through him, even in the second half as well. He is the main creative outlet. I gave it 8.5, you gave it 7.5. I was impressed, even though he didn't get assist today or goal. Majority of attacks started from Ebbs beating a player or 2 and opening up the space for the rest of the players to run onto. And I thought his contribution today was fantastic. Even in terms of ground duels won, he's won 7 out of 11. So defensively, he was solid. What did you make of Ebbs' performance? How comes he gave him 7.5? I thought he was one of the most on ball players in attack, apart from Edouard.
He was, but I don't think he was as good as Decore and Lerma. Now that's a very high bar. Remember, SA's arguably our best player, so I hold him to very high standards. So he had a very solid game, but I've seen him play much better than he did today. I thought his corners were very poor. I don't think the corners were very good today. But overall, I thought he played really well. I mean, passing was very good. He created 7 chances most in the game. He was fouled 5 times, 82 touches. So he was very involved in the game. I just expect more out of him because he's Eze. But not to say he played poorly. I think he played quite well. But I just thought that if I'm looking at the 3 midfielders, those 3, I think just today, just based on that, I think that Lerma and Decore are a little bit better than him. That's all. Just a little bit better.
And Jeffrey Schlupp, I think if you're talking about the negatives, I don't think it was a negative. Patrick, I think 5 is harsh. I gave him 6.5. I think 5 is harsh. I know in the first half he wasn't involved as much, but in the second half he got a bit more into the game. But how comes he gave him a 5?
Did you hear my stat that I gave you during the show just now, the YouTube show?
Live match reaction. Make sure to check that out.
Please do. First half, he was 3 of 10 passing and invisible.
I know, but in the second half, did he
No.
not make up for it?
It's an overall grade. So he got better in the second half, no doubt. Drove the ball better going forward. Passing improved. He had 5 passing into the final third. The first half is very, very
Quiet.
very, very quiet, very quiet. And listen, again, I'm holding to a different standing because listen, we're talking about having Wilf wide left, and now we have Schlupp. Now, I'm not comparing him to Wilf, but I'm saying that I expect him to do more. Now, had he played inside and as they played out wide, which happened for about 10 minutes in the match, I would have probably given him a higher because he was more involved. But when he was outside, he just wasn't involved enough. Now, that's nothing against him because on the other side, Ayew was very good. But for me, and Mitchell was very good going forward on the left side. We didn't need him that much, but he was just quiet, man. If you don't think he was quiet, then I don't know what game you're watching, but he definitely got better in the second half. And in the first half, I thought he was very, very quiet and wasn't actually very good in the first half. But in the second half, much better.
Yeah, for me, I think in the second, but I think his second half performance pushed him up to a 6.5. I think, yeah, first half you could argue for 5, very average, but I think second half performance pushed up. But let us know what you guys think in the comment section as well. In regards to Schlupp, would you give him a 6.5, 5, lower, higher? Let us know. Let's move on to Ayew, which you mentioned. You got an assist today. You gave him an 8. I gave him an 8.5. As I said it many times, if his decision making is on point, he's not at Crystal Palace. I think he's got all the technical ability. And his dribbling is fantastic. But look, today, fantastic cross onto Edouard to finish it, and very hard worker. He was all over the place, putting in the shift.
Very, very solid. Great performance by Jordan Ayew. Drew the fouls as usual. Passed the ball pretty well, 82%. Had the great assist. Worked hard all game. Defensively, very solid, helping out Joe Ward on that side. Can't say enough about him today. He was very good. So I mean, kudos to Jordan Ayew today. Great performance today.
What about our goal scoring winner, Edouard? Not only just his goal, but his overall performance. And that's why I gave him a 9. You gave him a 9 also. Near enough a 10 out of 10 performance, which is massive credit to him because I don't know about you, Patrick. I gave him a 9 due to his overall performance. Yes, the goal elevates that, but I thought he had a complete performance today, Edouard. He was involved with link-up play. His attitude seemed on point. He seemed like he wanted it. I think that's it. That's a problem in the past. Sometimes he just seems a bit like uninterested from looking on, looking from the stands and watching the game. But today, from minute 1, he wanted to link up with Ebbs, and it did work. And I think that goal just tops off his overall performance, which was absolutely fantastic. If you can't score goals, you need to be involved somewhat. And today, Edouard done that as well as scoring a goal. So for me, hats off to him. Hopefully, he continues this. But yeah, very, very good performance from Eddie.
Yeah, I mean, no doubt. Well taken goal. Easy could have had 2 goals because, the goal that from the cross of Mitchell was a half a foot offside. Very active, which I like. Offered a lot. Held the ball up quite well today. Passing was good. Drew 3 fouls. Had 7 shots on goal. As mentioned in the other show, I don't remember any forward having 7 shots on goal in a long time for Palace. Just had a very overall performance. Listen, I've said it before. I'll say it again. He has the talent to be a very good striker in the Premier League. I always said that last year. I don't know what happened to falling out with Vieira, but to me, it was more of a mindset. There were games that he was on it, like against Leeds, and there were games when he just didn't care. It seemed like he wasn't interested. And you can't play Premier League and not be interested. So if Roy's able to turn that attitude around, or maybe he did it himself, I didn't catch all of his post-match interview, but he did an interview with Palace TV and talked about how he's very happy with the beginning, but 37 more games left. Got to keep focused, which I like. So if he keeps that up, that's great. But listen, today he was very good. And for me, get to it now. Yes. Man of the match.
Yeah.
Edouard for sure.
Edouard, 100% for me as well, which is massive credit. Hopefully he continues this as well. Not going to be easy against Arsenal, but as long as he wants it, as long as he tries to have that link-up play, I think that's what we want to see. The bare minimum, basically, from a striker. Exactly. And talking about Roy, let's move on to our Roy rating, the manager rating. 8.5 from you, 9 from me. How comes you didn't give a high rating?
So there are 2 things. Again, overall, I think tactically, with what he's got, he did a great job today because he doesn't have the width from the outside. You tuck in the outside guys in Ayew and Schlupp. You switch Eze a bit. The 2 things I will say is, one is that I was surprised at, again, I'll keep saying it because it's just weird to me, but maybe it'll work out, having Decore drop off to pick up the ball off the back four like he did last year more than Lerma, but it was Lerma today. And I think Decore the better passer, but maybe breaking the lines, Decore is better, so he's higher up the pitch. And then the subs. Now, you said, we just talking about pre-match or pre-show, that we should have made a sub to that. I thought we should have made a couple of subs. I just thought that a couple of players at the end were a little tired. Could have affected the game week, lost the game, yeah, possibly. But I just know how Roy is. Roy does not make subs. Every other team today, I checked the stats, and I'll talk about it again in our review pod coming up. Every other team had immediately 3 subs today. We can't go the whole season, D, making 1 sub that is forced by an injury. Now, I know, I know we want to listen. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. You cannot
not
go.
Today,
I'll say it
not
again.
today.
Yeah, okay. We can argue about this all day. That's why you asked me why I gave it 8.5. I'm telling you why. I'm saying you need a sub. You can disagree, but I'm saying to you, you cannot go 38 games out without making 1 sub every match. It's not going to work. And
Yeah,
you know where doesn't make subs.
Yeah, okay,
but
cool.
you know where doesn't make subs.
Okay, I will agree with you. No, I will agree with you when it comes to like 5 or 10 games that is not making subs. But today there was no need. It's the first game of the season. Was controlling the game. Was creating chances. Very unlucky not to score more goals. And it's the first game of the season. The players shouldn't be fatigued. The players should be nice, fit, and ready for the game.
It's not about fatigue.
Yeah, so I don't understand why Roy needed to make subs. I don't understand this theory that's going on. I thought it was a fantastic management from Roy to keep all the players on the pitch, for us to control the game as it is, and walk out with a clean sheet and a win. I don't know why sub is the main talking point. I get it. If it comes down, after, a few games, he's not making subs, I'll understand your point. But for now, in this game, in the first game of the season, after that performance, I don't think he had to make a sub. I don't understand the need of making a sub for the sake of making a sub. Yes, to keep players fresh. If the players are fresh as it is, then what's the point? It's not
about the sake of making a sub. Historically, we know he doesn't make subs, and you cannot go through the season using the same 11 players the entire season. Is my point. We notice how he's been. That's my only point. And for me today, you're up 1-0. Yes, we're winning, but there's no reason why Ahmad can't get into the match or Richards can't get into the match. Or even Gyro in midfield. My point. I'm not saying. So my point is, we can talk about this all you want, but I'm telling you right now, historically, he does not make sub. If it continues, we'll have this point again. But I'm telling you right now, I don't like the fact he makes. That's why I gave him 8.5. I'll say it again, so people in the comments later on will get on my case. I thought he did a great job managing the game today. I really do. Tactic was good. The little bust that we had with that player was great to see how he reacted. Yeah. That was fine. But I'm telling you right now, the sub's gonna be an issue for me. You can agree or not, and that's fine. But I'm just saying.
It'll be an issue for me as well. Forward. But that's if he does it. Because before, Roy used to be what you say before Vieira, when in his last season, he used to be boring football, same old predictable. And then he came in and then he came in for 10 games and changed it about. So, it depends. If he changes ways, then fair enough. But for me, this game, I have no problems with the subs. I thought he done the right decision by keeping everyone out on the pitch. But let us know what you guys think. Do you guys agree?
In the comments.
Are you Team D, Team Patrick here? Would you
remember? This is just my opinion. So when you put comments in there, don't get personal. Just my opinion about. Don't get personal. I'm a Roy hater. I'm not. It's my opinion. So just make it personal in the comments. I appreciate that.
Yeah, but look, let us know what you guys think about the player ratings as well. We are back officially. Palace are back. My voice is not back, which is the biggest disappointment coming out of this game. Hopefully, it does come back because honestly, I'm so tired right now, so jet lagged and fatigued. But look, thank you to every single one of you who has watched this. If you haven't already done so, make sure to check out the live match reaction and the review pod, which will be posted on all your usual podcast platforms. And that's it from me and Patrick. And until next time, up the Palace, people.